Welcome back to another episode of Look What Just Found. Today is episode 89. And we're going to do 3 penny rolls. What a surprise. What I try to do is I get penny rolls from different banks. So that's where I get the variety from. Also, here and there I get donations, and that also adds to the variety for the show. Yesterday, I have my routine in the morning like we all do. And yesterday I went on the news and I saw some stuff I didn't like, and it kind of spun me out a little bit, and I started talking about it during the intro to the video. And today I had to make a conscious effort because I want to know what's going on in the world. I want to know, did gold and silver go up? I want to know, how things are going in politics. I want to know what the weather is today. And I had to make a conscious effort today not to do that, because it would make me start to talk about what I think about it, right? And so I was thinking about what I don't want to think about, and I thought I would talk about what I don't want to think about, and that's what I did. And that's what I did to avoid thinking about what I don't want to think about, and that is to not click on the news. Right, so if I click on YouTube, if I click on the bell, it'll show me, the news channels that I follow, and then I'll see their titles, and I'll know what's going on. I know a little bit of what's going on in the day, and that'll make me want to click on it. So I didn't do that. I just did my setup today. I did make my coffee, of course. Of course, a horse is a horse. And I picked out these 3 rolls, and I noticed that a certain type of roll has a mark on it. I make marks on my rolls so I don't get them mixed up. And everything with 83 and higher, I put 83 on, which is basically means zinc, right? So I'm going to show you what's on this person's wrappers, and you could we're gonna find out if it means anything. Hopefully it doesn't, or doesn't mean anything bad anyway. So these are my tried and true, that I know that they're gonna be pretty much mostly coppers. These, you see, if they're brighter, if the colors are brighter, usually it means they're newer. So this one is duller, but it has the same. Whoever submitted both of these, because they're in the same place, and that's it. So even though one is duller than the other, they're from the same person at the same time or time period. So to me, that looks like a V. And obviously they're both the same, even though that one looks less like a V. But we'll find out. And it's funny, it actually looks like the little V from VDB. But we'll find out right now. Okay, I did not put in I'm not redoing it. I'm not redoing this. And this is the mistake I make all the time. I'm putting in okay. All right, we got this. We got ours. Did put it on, All right. I have to figure out a way. What happens is, first of all, they're small, and I put them on, like to get off of the front of my desk. Okay, well, these aren't all, what's that called? They're not all, excuse me, zinc pennies. So I know that unless that V stands for, the person wants to know that they searched it, and if they get this back from the bank, that they know. Now, this one, either those are the most beautiful. No, that is so odd, man. Now, this one, are these all shields? Oh, wow. Oh, that's going to really, 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 really stink. I've never gotten a coin, and the lady told me once that there was somebody in that area that searches, and it's so weird how one has, and they're from the same person. I mean, it has a V. So somebody is coin roll hunting, and see, they put the little V on it because they don't want to see. I put a big 83, like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But that person, oh wow. So I think I'm relatively sure I have somebody's leftovers. The only question is, are they only looking for the V in the 2023s, and did they put everything else back? Well, we'll find out. But the first one has, see, and this is part of what I find so interesting about penny roll hunting is there's a good chance. I'm gonna put them up here. There's a good chance I'm going through somebody's leftovers right now, but they're not keeping 82s. They're not keeping copper. So if you're not, I mean, first of all, if you're not keeping copper, you're throwing money in the garbage. If there's, you know, and I did not learn, like I said, I like Two Sheds Gabby. I watch his videos. Um, I'm gonna look at that next to the FG, whatever that is. That looks weird. And he collects copper, but that's mostly what it seems like he does is collect copper. And he talks about the value of it and all that, and that's I I like that. But what happened was, um, at some point in the past, someone said that copper was worth more than zinc, and that the copper. Oh wow. Oh, we got a it looks like a late stage die cap. I'm gonna weigh this one. It also looks like copper, which of course it can't. It's impossible. It's copper. um I definitely want to see what it weighs. 247. Wait, hold on a second. I didn't tear it. Yeah, 247, 246. Oh wow. That's what it looks like to me. So and I found out that each copper penny was worth $19.99. was worth. I'm gonna weigh this one too. 255 was worth 2.58 cents, and then I realized, well, because I collect, I collect silver, gold, platinum, and then I realized that I also have some copper, but just a little bit of copper. I have maybe 20 pounds or something like that. I also have some stainless steel. I believe it's type. Oh man, I want to say D2, but it's a very popular type. It might not be D2, whatever it is that's very popular for making stuff, And and I have some rods of that. I don't know. I'm gonna make a fork and a spoon, right? With a rod of stainless steel. Give me a break. Man, I'm gonna weigh this one too. Boy, does that look bronzy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So this person, and it feels heavy, man. Wow. Ching ching, man. Ching ching. Let me tell you, out of tolerance pennies. I mean, you could ask whatever you want. What do they sell for? You know what? I'm gonna go on eBay right now. I'm just gonna click out uh tolerance pen. See if anything comes up on the tolerance penny real quick. No. Well, I'll just put heavy in. I saw it and I said, wow, that looks really bronzish. So I don't think this is a searched 1970D. I don't think this is a searched. It's not a railroad rim, but definitely has a weird. Yeah, you see that has a weird edge on both sides right there. So it's actually hub related. But on both sides though, it's really odd. It's very dark. It's probably not worth anything, but it's pretty cool. I thought I would show it. 1970D. So what's it worth? Maybe it's worth $1, buck or two, for someone who collects heavy pennies. Yeah. So this person, whoever wrote the little V on the is not collecting copper, obviously. Not weighing their pennies, obviously. I see that line in front of, so the jacket line goes straight through. I mean, something's going straight through there. I see that. Huh. Let me look at that. Let me just see if that's damage or oh no, it's both. Oh, it's on both sides. Oh, okay. Somebody, probably would. Well, see, this is the thing, right? Yeah, I guess it probably was. Yeah, and it's thicker towards the end, like a scissor or something like that, or some sort of tool. All right, someone tried to cut it. Pretty cool. I've never seen that before. Like someone tried to use a tool to cut a penny in half. Guess it didn't work. It's harder than you think, even with zinc. Harder than you think, even with zinc. So, even with searching through a penny roll that looks like, because the other one has mostly zinc on it and shields. And I think that was the roll that had the better looking V written on the outside. So I don't know if that means something or not. Guess this is copper. It's too dirty. But it's still interesting that I still think it's searched because of the letters on it, because they wrote something on it. But whatever they're searching for, they're not. I mean, maybe they're getting whatever cases, bags of pennies, and they're just zipping through it. Um, they're looking for something very, very specific, and they're not. Um, they're just not interested in anything else. I'm gonna weigh this one. 255. Because if that is a late stage die cap, that's a $5 penny, 1962. I don't even understand how someone could leave that. I mean, this is mind boggling to me. Like, you're not. So getting back to the copper story, um, copper is 2.58. I mean, it could have changed. I mean, the last time I checked, I'm saying it was 2.58 cents per copper penny, right? So if copper goes to 5 cents per copper penny, tear. Oh, oh, okay. It was 5.5. The tear was on 5. So, okay, it doesn't matter. 248. And then you have $1,000 in pennies, copper pennies. Well, I shouldn't say that. You have 1,000. You have 10,000 pennies. Those 10,000 pennies, copper pennies, if copper goes to 5 cents per copper penny, then you will have $5,000 per 10,000 pennies. and that's pretty awesome in my opinion. That's dope. I mean, I don't want to say for free because you paid $1,000 for those 10,000 pennies. That's a beauty. All right, we have an A. We jumped right from circulated right to AU. I'm gonna say AU on it. Yeah, straight to AU on that one. Now you could weigh all your pennies and anything that's overweight. You can make $1 on. You know what I mean, or $2 or $3, depending on how overweight it is. And if it's a really really beautiful looking one, you could submit it, and they'll put. I believe the designation is thick planchet. I think so. They might, and they'll put the weight on the. They'll put the weight on. Now, see what I did right there was because I was doing this, and for some reason, I guess the rubber fingers were twisting the penny. So I was like, "Oh, is it rotated, right?" So one of my subscribers said, "Oh, you could put it up to a mirror." Well, I'm sitting at my desk, you know what I mean? And for me to get up and go to a mirror, all you have to do is this. This is the way I check for this. Even that looks weird around the. Let me look at that. Looks weird around the 60 around the date. It's dirt, or something, grime or whatever it is. But I just go like this very quickly, and that's it. Because it has to be 15% or more to be out of tolerance and worth something, which is like this is 12.5, and 15% is a little bit more than that. So it has to be really, really. This is 25%, right? That would be 50, 75, 100 would be back to normal. Um, so I'm sitting at my desk. I'm not gonna. I can't even have a mirror on my desk. That wouldn't work because it would take two hands, and I don't have space for a mirror in front of me and all that jazz. So that's the easy way to check for a rotated die. You just go like this, and you go like that on the Lincoln Memorial. So I'm saying, and you look at the line for the roof and the floor of the Lincoln Memorial, and if it's twisted, then you know that's rotated. Yeah. So like I said, this person more than likely, maybe they were just looking for 2023s. That's it, you know, and that's okay. I'll take that person's leftovers all day long. They're gonna leave the copper. They're not gonna check for errors. They're only gonna check for 2023s, and they're gonna. And I'm telling you, from this bank, I've never, never, never received a 2023 ever. From another bank, I have, but from the bank where I get these rolls from, never got a 2023. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's what the person was doing, was just, and they wrote V on it to let him know that if he gets any more, if he gets any of his rolls back, um, it's a small town. There's a chance that the person doesn't even have a car. You know, um, Pennsylvania is it's a weird state. Been out here, oof, long, long time, more than half of my adult life, 92. And they got little. I mean, you have big cities out here, right? You got Allentown, you got Reading. What a nice strike, huh? What a beauty. Pittsburgh. Oh, that is really, really something. Off camera, it looks like it looks proof-ish. I'll just hold on to it just to do a what's that called? A short on. Unless I find a better one. No, that's not true. I could put them on top of each other. And there's also, the Appalachians out here also, right? The what's that called? The Appalachian. The Appalachian Trail, right? I mean, don't quote me. It's another beauty. Also 2010. Are they both 2010s? That's odd, man. That is weird. I will put them together. That is weird. Two 2010s. Okay. All right. Oh, I wonder if this was like a 2010 roll. Well, I'm gonna keep these together, and I will. Obviously, they're going back to the bank. Oh wow, that is so weird, man. And why 2010? Wow, man. These are there's no are those proofs? No way. Are those proofs? Wow, the more I look at it, the more proof like it looks. But how's that? How did? Are they just uncirculated? I don't understand. And he's got the V on it and everything. Hold on. What's going on here? All right, we got one. So it's mixed up a little bit. What's going on here? Are these? I don't get it. Where did these come from? Okay, so this is. I'm gonna put them to the side because and I see there's more and there's more and there's more. I don't know what it means. Are these proofs? I don't understand where these came from. Um, I'm gonna look at all the pennies, obviously, but this is like an anomaly. That's what I was looking for. It's an anomaly. 92 close AM. It's not a close AM. um, with these, I could see them because I was like, oh, this must be searched. I mean, is there something special on 2010s? Wow, man. I'm telling you, this looks like a proof. Now this one looks like a proof. See, what happens is with these zincs, you can see the lines on the film. I'm gonna weigh this one just for the heck of it. 255. Oh yeah, this is a proof. Definitely proof like or uncirculated or something weird's going on with this. So I don't. Wow, you see what I'm saying, man? How interesting all this is. I'm putting. Oh, that's a 2000. I was like, oh, that one doesn't look. That's a 2012. You see how now? Look, you see how you can see the lines on the field, right? Now let's find one of those 2010s. No lines. Is there something? Oh, this is the first. Oh, this is the first year shield. This is the first year shield. I have a roll of first year shields. And here goes a 2012. So what? This is somebody's pennies from 2010. Well, I'm going to hold on to these. I have, like I said, I have I'm not going to hold on to them forever, but we're going to look through them in a separate video. I love when I found interesting stuff. This is a, I don't know what this is. I'm going to say, oh, it's zinc. It's zinc. It's a large date, Philadelphia zinc. Yeah, 2.4 rate. You can tell by the surface. And then this one that we found, this is the one we found before, right? Hey, that's copper. You can tell by the rim. Yeah, 3.9. So look at these. I mean, here, let me put it. Let me move the camera. Now I actually move the camera over for this. Okay. I don't have to move the camera over for that. I can move the pennies over for the camera. Yeah. So. Oh. There. I was. All right. So these are the first year shields, except for this one, obviously, and there's 2012s in here also. But they're not. But I guess maybe this person had a roll of 2010s. See this one. But what's with the little V though? I'm still wondering what's with the little V on the on the on the roll. What's the deal with that? You know. I mean, so I'm thinking they just had a roll of new pennies at some point in time, and then they just sent it back to the maybe they kept the ones they wanted. I mean, it's such a mystery, right? I like the mystery because it makes for great content. But what I'm hoping that one of those are like, they're not proofs. They're not proofs. I think they're just uncirculated. They're not proofs. I mean, a proof. I found one proof in. All right, you see the lines right there? Could be from the crimp roll. I found one proof in all of the coin roll hunting I've ever done. It was my wife gave us donated her piggy bank to the channel, and you can see it a mile away when there's a proof. Another 2010. Yeah, I think these are just uncirculated. When there is a proof next to a non-proof, even it could be the most beautiful penny in the world, like these are just really, really, I don't think these are proofs, personally. Man, but sure, man, they sure do. Wow. Maybe. I don't. The stunningness of these pennies. But I still don't think they're proof. They have that. Maybe it's because they've been inside the penny roll that they lost a little bit of their shine. 81. It's another. I mean, the edges aren't that great. Otherwise, it's a beauty. I'm gonna 312. I'm gonna put it. I'm still gonna put it with the AUs. It's just that beautiful, you know. What happened to this one, huh? I'm not gonna hold on to that. Where did this person get these 2010s from? Bank, probably. So odd. So that was pretty cool. And the next rolls, I think the next roll is probably either all copper or just a couple zincs. So this is, this is why I really like something about penny roll with the customer submitted rolls. That's just nothing like anything else because of the variety that you get. See, look, hey, the next one is one of those 2010s. I can see it. You know, that's not a shield. I'm gonna weigh it. Super orange, that 1999. 2.5 on the daily dot. Let's look at the reverse 99. Yeah. 96, they give him such a stark beard. Then they take it away from him in the later pennies. And some of the earlier ones too. It's just weird how I always wondered if that's a different picture, if it just has to do with this. Probably one of the 2010s. Yeah. So wild. And here's the last one. 2012. Okay. Let's put, and this is a real shiny penny. Let's put this next to the last 2010 we found. Yeah, you see that it's just, I don't know if these are proofs or not. I can't tell. To me, they're not proofs. I'm telling you, proofs are really, I think these are uncirculated pennies, which is funny because and so an uncirculated penny, there's a definition to it. I went over it in one of the previous videos, but I can't remember what it is. Let's look. Uncirculated penny definition. Uncirculated coins are hand loaded into the coin press and struck on specially burnished blanks, yet have a soft matte like finish appearance. So those aren't uncirculated, they're not matte like. These coins are made like circulated coins, which are used every day as money, but with a special process that produces a brilliant. Okay. Oh, the blanks are burnished, but but the special process produces brilliant finish. I'm telling you, yeah, these are uncirculated. So somehow they got their hands on uncirculated. That's what I'm thinking because they're not. The finish is brilliant on this, but it's not proof. The proof finish is like you could just it looks like a mirror. It really looks like a mirror, and the cameo looks like a frosted. It's just such a different. Okay, I don't want to ruin this line that I got here, but I want to put it underneath the what's that called? All right, I ruined it. I just want to keep it there underneath the camera. Okay, and I said it was going. We're on the third row, and I said it was going to be. We're only going to find one or two. Look, that it was mostly copper, and here we go. The first one I grab is zinc. Okay, so we'll see. 83. I'm just grabbing from wherever. There is one. Oh, you see, we got We just got Lincoln zincs. That's okay. Like I said, my object 82. Copper, Philadelphia. See, it's weird because this is a large date, but for some reason the all the letters and numbers are thin. 3.7, 3.07, excuse me. Okay, so it looked like mostly copper, but it's not. They're Lincolns memorials, but they're not 99. But they're not mostly copper, so they're mixed up. Yeah, my objective here is not to. I'll look at that D. I forgot what year they stopped punching D's. For some reason, I feel like it's the. Oh, I learned something new yesterday. I learned something new, and oh, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna save it for the what's that called? I was gonna say the outro. You got the intro, you got the outro. No, for the bonus feature. Um, I'm not gonna ruin it. I found it super interesting because I really did like this deep dive because I get these certain types of comments about mint marks, and it didn't make sense to me, man. It just didn't make sense to me, and I was like, I got to do some research, and it's funny, right? Because funny, interesting. This is 91. I got to put the thing back up. Oh wow! So not mostly copper. Not mostly copper. Look at this. Not mostly copper. Not most. I really, really thought it's mostly copper. It's absolutely not. Mostly zinc, actually. Uh, I'm not sure. I don't think. Is this copper? I'm gonna say it is. It looks like copper, so I'm just gonna say it's copper. But I think it's a zinc, but it looks like copper. Oh, it is. It is copper. Look at that. I'll put that into the fines. It's not. I'm not gonna put that into the AUs. So they're tricking me here. They're tricking me. Tricks are for kids. Remember that? Talk about a high fructose corn syrup breakfast, huh? Oof. Get your kids ready for diabetes. That's it. Fruity pebbles, um, Fruit Loops. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Those cereals are. Oh, I get chills just thinking about them. It's like it's like drugs. I mean, let's be honest, man. Talk about the worst thing you could give your kids for breakfast. Just like what's the word I'm looking for? When you get something staged, primed for diabetes. There you go. Give them fruity pebbles and man, it's almost AU condition. Man, I hate to let it. I'm gonna put it in with the AUs. It's just so nice. Yeah. Talking about priming them for diabetes and being overweight and unhealthy. Yeah, let's just grab some high fructose corn syrup and mix it with some processed um, bleached bleached flour, and then throw some coloring in with it, and that we're gonna feed. I mean, oof, man, think about it. You wouldn't even feed your dog that. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I love it. I can go for a bowl right now. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I could go for a bowl right now, man. Sounds delicious. Oh, look at this. Bronze looking. I'm gonna weigh it. A little bronzy. Um oh, 317. Oh no. Yes. Wait. No. It's intolerance though. It has to be 2.3 or higher. Excuse me. It has to be 3.23 grams or higher to be because you gotta I mean it could be 3.22, but really I like to get that extra tenth of a gram for the variation in the scale. But either way, it's not. I'll put that into the fines. But really, you wouldn't feed. I wouldn't feed my. If you love, I mean, people love. We love our animals, right? We love our dogs, our cats, and you would never, never, never feed your dog or your cat high fructose corn syrup and bleached flour, right? Mix it together and call it. They would die. You would kill them. They would die. If you fed that to an animal, they would die soon. I mean, maybe not instantly, but they would much quicker. Cancer and diabetes and all that. And 69 is this the what's the one we need? I got it on the. That would be too much if this is the one we actually need. There's two of them we need. 68S, man. I'm still gonna hold on to this because it's super low. All the S's are like very low mintage. Not, I shouldn't say all of them. As far as I know, all of them. Anyway, I have no idea how I got onto that um, topic, but it's an interesting case, right? It's true, right? You would never feed your dog Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles or Tricks. Oh, because I said Tricks are for kids. That's what happened. I just because that was a commercial from when I was a kid, and then when I got older, that was something that they said in the street. If someone tried to, I'm talking about teenager. When I got older, as a teenager, and if somebody tried to get funny with you, that's what you told them. Yo, man, tricks are for kids. 3.1. That's what you would tell them. I'll put that in the fines. So anyway, that's just something I said. Oh, tricks are for kids, and then I was like, oh yeah, remember that cereal? And then I went off on a tangent like I do sometimes. Um, yeah, I mean, like to me, you should only eat um, like super sugary cereals. Maybe you shouldn't eat cereals at all. I don't know. Probably not. 2.5. I weighed it. I mean, I eat cereal. I eat frosted mini wheats. Talk about sugar and diabetes and all that. It's probably not that good for you either. Um, it doesn't bother my digestion. That's something I started to worry about. I was like, oh, if I'm going to eat cereal, let me get one that at least helps with my digestion. Anyway, that was my thought process. Probably BS. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not giving advice or anything like that. But you probably shouldn't give your kids that. I would say that with confidence. Probably shouldn't give your kids any sugary cereals. and then it's funny, right? Sugary cereals like really came out heavy duty in the 70s. Yeah, and then by the 80s, there's this new diagnosis called ADHD. Go figure. There was this really great documentary. I don't know what you think about him, but I like the documentary by whatever his name was, Michael something, the guy who does documentaries. And he went to Europe to look at what the guy from the Canadian. I think he's Canadian. or he's from Michigan or whatever, you know, close to Canada. Um, and so he went to Europe and he did a video on like what they feed kids in the schools in Europe, right? And man, they got like chefs and nutritionists and menus. It was like crazy, man. I was like, what? And then so he you know, he's super overweight and out of shape, right? For someone who's so interested in nutrition, he doesn't take his own advice, you know. Go figure. I don't want to call him a hypocrite, but I mean, he obviously doesn't care about nutrition. I mean, he, you know, I'm just saying that's okay. It's okay not to care about nutrition, but anyway, I guess you know, but it say don't you know listen to the message, not the messenger. So I guess that's part of the takeaway for all that. Anyway, so but still tremendous. If you haven't seen it, it was a tremendous documentary. And so he opens up a can of soda at one of the schools, right? Because he's super, you know, he's that's what he doesn't he's not into nutrition. He just wants to talk about nutrition. So he pulls out a can of soda. I put this with the AUs, and he offers the little girl, you know, a cup of soda, and she drinks it, and within seconds, this totally calm little girl starts to like fidget and starts to fidget. Let's just say, put it like that. She starts to fidget. And I thought that was super interesting. It's like, you know, if you give something to somebody who's super clean and healthy, like I had a friend who was super into health when I was younger, worked out and all that. And I remember he said to me, "Oh man, I got into the mood for I got the craving. I'm gonna weigh this one. I keep staring at it. I'm gonna weigh it. 2.55. I guess it's the rim on the reverse. It has the hub and all that. It's still not worth anything unless it has doubling, which it does not. Um, and he told me, he goes, "Oh man, yesterday," he goes, "Hey, just yesterday, I got in the mood for chicken nuggets, man. I had a craving for chicken nuggets." He goes, "I bought a 20 piece," and he goes, you know, whatever. Relatively shortly afterwards, he was puking his guts out. You know, and when somebody healthy introduces something unhealthy into their system, their body reacts. You know, if you're eating, you know, fruity pebbles and all that all the time, every day, you know, someone's probably going to tell you have ADHD and, you know, give you medication. And all they're probably doing in some cases is fighting the insulin spikes that you're giving your little kid. You know what I mean by giving them fruity pebbles and those sugary cereals. So this little girl starts to tap her. She starts to fidget, you know, and I was like, wow, look at that. One cup of soda you give somebody who has a clean, healthy system. And this would have been a good topic for after. sorry. Sorry. I went off a little bit. This would have been an interesting topic for 1997 double ear. We're looking for, and you can see the line. I guess that's where the double ear comes from. There's like this line that goes from the ear down the jaw, and I guess sometimes it just creates a double ear. Here there's no ear, and look at the hair. The hair looks like a bunch of ears. So interesting, right? The way the years of the pennies, how they changed how Lincoln looks. So um, that's that. I'm telling you, I can go for like a. And the funny thing is, I could probably eat a box because you're never full. You know, when you eat those cereals, it's like you could. I had a friend that used to eat them. He was very active. He was overweight though, unhealthy, but he was super active playing handball. and he would eat like the whole box, and he was a big dude, and he wouldn't use bowls. He used a pot. He used a pot, and he poured the Fruit Loops or the Tricks. He poured it into a pot, and that's what he ate out of, was a pot. I think this is a copper, 1980. Okay. Yeah, he ate out of a pot. I wonder how he's doing. Hope he's okay. All right. All right. So that's it. That was I talked a lot about stuff that had nothing to do with pennies. Hope you don't mind. That's what I do sometimes. Hope that's okay with you. All right. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, I'll keep this out. Oh, is this thing still on? Hello? Anybody there? Anybody there? Anybody there? Yeah, I look like I eat a bunch of Fruity Pebbles. I know. I have to take off a few pounds. We'll see. I'm working on it. Don't kill me in the comments, okay? I get a thought in my head and I go with it. I still try to do the best I can at searching through the pennies. That was a pretty wild. I can't believe those are. I'm pretty sure those are uncirculated pennies. I'm gonna do a short. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do a short, and I'm gonna do a little longer video on them. So there'll be a couple of videos. I could see them from here. There, they almost look like they. I'm thinking they're uncirculated. Okay, so I wrote down what I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah. Oh man, this is so interesting. Let me take these. They're filthy. I don't want to make sure I don't touch anything with these things. And I'll reuse them, because now I have to. Now I do the abridged significant finds, and then I'll do the shorts. Sometimes I don't keep the the fingers on for the shorts. I usually do though. Okay, so being a YouTube creator is fun. I have to tell you, it's a lot of fun. Initially, I'm going to share a secret with you. I was talking to my wife about this yesterday. I got triggered a little bit when I first started doing the videos because of whatever. I'm not even going to make judgments. It is what it is. People are who they are, and YouTube, I think, is I really feel like for some people, YouTube's just an outlet. You know what I mean? Which I guess it is, right? It's how it's even for me, right? It's where I get my entertainment from, my news from, all that stuff. But I guess what I mean, I think YouTube is where some people come to argue. And this was, it was my first time encountering that, having a channel that became popular, right? My breakfast. And people say, and I believe they believe what they're saying, but the oddest things, like there's no such thing as pennies. I'm never going to get over that. I'll never get over that. That there's actually people who believe there's no pennies because in the back of the penny it says cent. And the truth of the matter is, as far as I know, there probably was a correlation between a penny and a cent at one time. Whatever, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, a copper penny probably worth 1 cent. But now a copper penny is worth 2.58 cents. But of course, there's a penny. They're all United States pennies. Yes, we have United States, but there's this person who some people think there's no such thing as a penny, and I don't know if that has something to do with. I feel like it has something to do with the UK and that area in Europe and and them getting rid of pennies or whatever the case may be. And they're just confused. But they really believe there's no such thing as it, that there was never a U.S. penny that's called a cent, and it's not. The cent is the value of the penny. So there's 2.58 cents for a copper penny. That's what a copper penny is worth, 2.58 cents. So if you have whatever, to get $1 or to get 100 cents in copper, right? You would, whatever the math is, 2.58, and however that math, it would be like what? Less than 50, because 2 would be 50. So it's probably like 40, 35 copper pennies are worth $1. Okay. So I keep getting these messages whenever I talk about repunched. So that's the pennies. I talked about that a few times. If it is a little complicated. I mean, I didn't know. If you don't know anything about pennies and cents and you've never done this before, it's easy to get tricked. Oh my God, there's no such thing as a penny. It's crazy. So whenever I talk about repunched or double die mint marks, so every once in a while I get a message talking about. So I did. Matter of fact, you can see. You want to see the message? Go to the video on, and I should go in there. I'm gonna, if I remember, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna correct this person because that was months ago, and I didn't disagree with them because I didn't know. I'm not gonna disagree. If I don't know, I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, whatever you say. And the person said, I put the video is on a penny that I have that the Denver mint mark on the copper penny is super high. It's like almost touching the date. That's a good penny. That one's worth a few bucks. I've never seen one that high before. And the person said, oh, that's within tolerance. And I said, how's it within tolerance? Oh, because they're hand punched. So this is the conversation I had, the discussion I had with this person. I said, oh, hand punch. I said, well, okay. Then I don't think the person meant to hand punch it almost on top of the date. So that would definitely disprove what you're saying, that it's within tolerance. Because if it's hand punched, there's no way the person meant to hand punch it right next to the date. So that's, and then the person, if I remember correctly, the person never wrote back again. But this person, I didn't know, it didn't make sense to me. I was doing the math in my head. I was like, hand punched. There's a billion of these, a billion. You mean hand punched? And it bothered my thought process for all these months. I was like, hand punched, hand punched. I was like, how is that hand punched? And it was funny because I saw it in other places. I don't want you want to touch my face with, even with the gloves on the fingers. I kept seeing people referencing hand punched mint marks, like this person. And yesterday, for some reason, I did a little bit of a deep dive and I found the forum, and there was somebody who knew about this and they explained it. And I was like, oh man, because if someone doesn't explain it to you, you don't know. And everyone who's watching this video probably knows what I'm going to say right now, because I'm the only one who got into a discussion with this person about hand punched mint marks, and you all know already, and I don't. And that's okay. But I learned something. And that's one of the wonders of coin roll hunting. If you do it on a regular basis, you will learn about errors and minting And that is so cool to me. I love learning new things. So this is what hand punched mint marks means, which is prior to whatever. There's a whole. I found they have a whole chart that explains when when they started and stopped and all of that is so cool. So it's the die that is hand punched. The die, not the penny. And I don't know how I didn't figure that out on my own. But even the person in the forum, so the person in the forum asked the question. You can find the forum, type in whatever, hand punch, die, question mark, is it whatever, and you'll find the forum. So someone else asked the question in this forum, what does, that's what that, Google it. What does hand punched mint marks mean? And the person put that in a forum, and somebody knowledgeable answered them. And his response to the person who answered was like, "That makes sense." He goes, a billion pennies would take hundreds of people or thousands of people to punch every single penny. But this is what the person was telling me about the mint mark, that it was hand punched. So in this copper penny, it was an older copper penny, might have even been a wheat cent, where the die was hand punched. So I think what he said was that there's a rod with the mint mark, the mint letter, DS, whatever, and they put it on the die, and with I think he says a mallet, they strike it. I think that's what he said. He said a mallet. He didn't say a hammer. He said something bigger than a hammer. So a mallet or something else. I think he said mallet. That they hit the die to make the mint mark on the die when they used to do that. So this Denver mint put that mint mark super hype, just like right below, and it was an accident. And who knows? Who know? I mean, and I'm gonna. I mean, I don't know how many pennies a die makes. So the only thing I could say is one of two things happened. Either that was a very high mint mark for that specific penny, and then it could probably, I wouldn't be surprised. So there might, obviously there's more out there like it. So either the person realized or someone realized right away, and they changed the die because the mint mark was too high, and that was just one of the few that they made, or they made 100, whatever they made, 100, a million of them on that die. I don't think there's a million of them. Can they make a million pennies from one die? That's an interesting answer in the comment below. How many pennies can they make off of one die? Or there's a million of them out there, or 100,000 or 10, whatever it is that a die can make. But that's why you don't see them. But hand punched mint marks, that's how they make hand punched mint marks, is from a rod, according to this, which I believe the person actually sounded like what he was talking about. They hand punched the mint mark onto the die that makes the pennies. And there's not a million monkeys around with a hammer, which to me, that's what the person was telling me. That's hand punched. And I was like, because he said, no, because he actually said the penny's hand punched. He goes, no, he said, we're talking about the penny. He goes, the mint mark is hand punched. So obviously, my feeling is that this person really, he's not the only person that said that. Oh, hand punched. A few people have said that to me in the comments, and I found that confusing, and so do other people, right? Because like I said, it's in the forum. So there are people who actually believe that someone that monkeys were running around and with a punch and doing it per penny, which of course is absolutely nuts, and which confused me. But it was Problem solved. This would probably be a good, I could even probably cut this part of the video out and make a separate video just um, on the hand punching part. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you for coming. That was a pretty good, interesting. I really like getting those. Check out the other video I'm going to do on those 2010s. And I have. Remember I told you I had a roll of 2010s. I have a roll of 2010s. Tell you what. Let's make this video a little longer. I'm dying to compare. I can't wait. I'm telling you. I'm a real product of the 80s and eating Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes. So this is a roll of two. I just happen to have a roll of 2010 Philadelphia's. I've never looked at them. I've never looked at them. I've never looked at these before. I'll take out a couple. And I'm just gonna, yeah, they're the same. The ones that I got from that I did in the review. Yeah. Oh wow. I'm telling you, some of these look, even the ones I just took out. I don't know what it means. I think they're uncirculated. I guess that's what they are because that's not what regular. I mean, I looked at tons and tons of 2010s, and I guess those are uncirculated. I'll do a special video on it later. Okay, you don't have to watch it now. you got the gist of it from this video. Okay, God bless, and I'll see you on the next one.